What is up, RotoGrinders? 90 minutes of nonstop NBA DFS conversation. It starts right now. GrindersLive. Coming in about 50 minutes or so. A little bit of a short show for us because only six games on the slate. It's broken up 5 early, 1 late, the back half of the TNT doubleheader. You have New York and Los Angeles. Both teams relevant, which is always good in the NBA. And we did get Cat officially ruled in, which is nice. We still have Giannobi in that game, who's currently questionable. Probably not getting that news until after all the other games lock. But just sort of thrown out there again, it's split 5-1. The front half of that TNT doubleheader is an absolute disaster. That's what happens when you put Philadelphia in the schedule. What a mess. They're getting messier as we close in on the season. But 35, 40 games left. No, days, not games. As far as until we get to the playoffs. Playoffs should be a lot of fun. Do want to say what's up to the chat. Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn on those notifications. And let's just get it going. It's a Fleet Thursday. Let's go ahead and start that scroll because got to be dropping those clues a little bit faster. Tell me what athlete I'm talking about. Get in the Discord channel, and you get yourself a week free of RG Premium. RotoGrinders.com/Discord live stream chat. Tell me what athlete I'm talking about here on a Fleet Thursday. Producer Steve's going to drop that first clue in just a second. The first clue is swing. All right, Bobby, how are things in your world? Everything all right? We geeked up for a Thursday night. All sorts of nonsense with Philly and Boston. It looks like an interesting game stack that can get even more interesting if we happen to lose Jason Tatum, who's currently questionable. Last man standing.
Yeah, excited for this 6-gamer. We have a ton of Celtics news. You poo-pooed the Philly guys. Going to get some value on the Philly side, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I know they're terrible, but definitely going to be looking at some of those Philly plays. Yeah, it's an interesting slate overall. We'll keep you posted as news kind of trickles in. And I want to say what's up to the chat. I see my guy, Broccoli Boy, in there giving us all good compliments and stuff. Waiting for Dean and Bobby. What else is new? You know, we were a minute late. We were a minute late. You know, it's going to be a good show. We're going to have a good night. So someone said I was their good luck charm.
Oh,
no Diddy. I'll take that. I'll hopefully I help you out and you get some winners in there tonight. So, and Dean also hopefully Dean helps you out too. So
I'll try.
Ready to talk some NBA.
You mentioned Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm not really besmirching. It's just what a disaster. The season could not have gone any worse for them. Embiid, of course, out for the year. Paul George looking like he's on that way as well. I don't know why they would bring him back anytime soon. He was questionable with that groin, but they ruled him out really quickly. Again, no reason why they would push him. Their season's over. We keep repeating this, but they absolutely want to keep losing. Their lottery pick is top 6 protected, and they're right there on that bubble. So they need some losses. They're probably going to get it. Boston's not going to play all their dudes, but probably they're going to play enough. They're still pretty heavily favored. Of course, Maxi's out. McCain's out for the season. Lowry's out. Eric Gordon's out for the season. And Justin Edwards, just for fun, he's questionable. But, yeah, there's players that are hitting Edwards, if he plays 30 minutes. You mentioned Lonnie Walker. Jared Butler is an interesting flyer. Yeah, that's looking like a potential game stack there because Boston, on the other side, on the national TV game, Jaylen Brown is out on the back half of a back-to-back. By the way, only team in the back half of a back-to-back is Boston. The other team that's playing in the front end, the only team playing in the front end, that is New York. I believe that they're doing an LA tour. Pretty sure they have the Clippers tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. Sam Hauser, legit hurt, like injured, I shouldn't say. He dinged himself last night with his ankle. He had to come out of the game the last couple minutes or so. He's questionable. Holiday's still out with his finger. Horford, he's just, he's not allowed to play back-to-backs. He played yesterday, so he cannot play today. And the Zinger is still ill. Porzingis is still out. And, of course, Tatum, he didn't play yesterday, and we thought he would come back and play today. We'll see. Maybe he does. But as of right now, he is questionable. Halliburton's questionable, which is a big deal. No, that's a 7 o'clock game, so we will know that. Wait, is that 7 or 7:30? That's 7:30. Okay. Maybe we get that at the gun at 7 o'clock. But, yeah, there's only one 7 o'clock game at Chicago and Orlando. We did get the news that Cole Anthony's officially in and starting. Suggs, of course, still out. Mo Wagner's still out. The Bulls, looks like Giddey is available per the injury report that I'm seeing right now. I just got the new injury report from NBA.com. And yeah, looks like Giddy is in, and Herder is available. Vuk, of course, is still out. DeSumo out for the season. Lonzo Ball is he's not playing. He's got a wrist. Hey man, this is the world we live in now, Bobby. I don't know if you were playing yesterday, if you're traveling, you're grinding away, but just this whole week, and it's not even like the last week of the season. It's like every team almost, it seems like there's something. And we're getting a lot of updates for tomorrow. The Jazz, they're still ill, the Jazz. You're not going to believe it because they're playing against a terrible basketball team, doing their best to get the one spot. But this is what we signed up for. We signed up for NBA DFS, and we got to deal with the madness. Any overarching thoughts as far as the slates? Certainly things can change if Tatum's out, if Halliburton happens to not play. But as of right now, what are you looking at? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so I think Tatum does play. Really like these Celtics guys in general. Talking about Peyton Pritchard, I feel like at 5'5", he's really tough to get away from on the slate. Luke Cornett is another one. He's done really good when he is starting. He's had some ceiling games above 35 points as a starter, so I'm fine with that. In his history start. So, I'm fine with Cornett. Tatum, I think, plays. I think Tatum's very solid, so fine going to him. Halliburton's the one I'm going to backload for, and if he's out, I'll probably get a lot of Siakam, a lot of Nembhard, a lot of Nesmith. I have a lot of Indy and Boston currently, and then rounding it out with Philly value, those Magic studs mixed in that high-paced game versus Chicago. So that's pretty much kind of how my script looks currently. That's pretty much it, Dean, for me in terms of overall view of the slate. How about you?
Yeah, so to start the day, one of my first thoughts was, love picking on Chicago, the condensed, usage of Banchero and Wagner. I was like, I think I'm going to play one of those two guys in every lineup. That was my first thought. And then the way things are opening up in Philly, the way things are opening up in Boston, I don't know if I'm going to stick to that, but I'm fine with it. It's if I land on either one, sure, of course. Orlando has been one of the worst offensive teams last 15 games or so, but the Bulls are the anecdote. They will certainly cure that. It's how horrendous they happen to be. So, I feel like both those guys are well positioned. Now it's a 7:00 game. There's a little bit of backloading stuff. You mentioned the Halliburton thing at 7:30. When will we get that? It's possible. It's possible that they wait till 7, right in the nose when they drop the lineup. Hopefully they don't. That's the one in the survey today. I was like, I'm most afraid of. What are you most afraid of not having? It's a 248.5 total, the biggest total on the board. It's high and it's tight with the Pacers and the Hawks. And I don't really have a ton of that game right now. There's some pieces I like. I just don't want to neglect that game, and I feel like that game can, really go off. So that's a concern I have. And there's another game. It's a 6-game slate. Pretty sure I'm just going to cross one game out. Pretty sure I'm going to cross one out and just make it a 5-game slate. You probably can guess which game that is. I think you can guess which game that is. What's the one game that I'm probably going to cross out?
I would say the New Orleans Rockets game. Actually, Golden State in Brooklyn. Sorry.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be Golden State in Brooklyn. I'm pretty sure we're just gonna wipe that one. Basketball will be played, but I don't believe I'm going to participate as far as drafting players from those teams. All right. Anything else we should say before we fully dive in? Trying to see if we have any more news or notes dropping as we jump in here. Do you want to also, I didn't even tell producer Steve the answer. Today is Athlete Fleet Thursday, just in case he happens to catch it in the Discord. Let me go ahead and throw it his way, and hopefully nobody's guessed it just yet. If they did, that'd be super impressive. We will drop the second clue here momentarily. Again, in the live stream chat channel, get yourself a week free of RotoGrinders Premium over in the Discord channel. Almost all the Discord channels are free. Just need a regular RG account. There are some premium channels. Of course, this is not a premium channel. Let's see. Serena Williams, Roy McIlroy, Rudy, Arnold Palmer, Roger Federer, Griffey Jr. A lot of different sports getting mentioned. But let's go ahead and drop that second one just to kind of get things rolling as we open the slate up. The second clue for today's Fleet Thursday is injured. Injured is our second clue. Okay, Bobby, you ready to do it?
Yeah, let's roll.
Bulls, Magic, 217.5 is a total. That was the other thing. I thought the total would be a little bit higher, for a Bulls game. This might be like the lowest total for a Bulls game all season, give or take. Typically, they're like in the 230s or so. Obviously, Orlando, their offense has been sputtering. Their defense, not as good as it once was, but still pretty good defensively. They are 7-point favorites here. We did get clarity. We mentioned before. Lonzo out, Dosunmu out, Giddey and Hurt are in. Vuk is still out. He might be coming back soon. I thought Patrick Williams was in. Was he in and then out? I thought I saw Patrick Williams was ruled in. But now I'm seeing he's out. Okay. Yeah, he was just ruled out.
Ruled out 32 minutes ago.
Yeah. I think he's a late add to the injury report because I'm pretty sure he's off it, unless I'm just making that up. I did not see his name on there. And then in any event, Patrick Williams not coming back tonight. Wouldn't have really mattered. Cole Anthony is available and starting. No Suggs. He's done for the year. And Mo Wagner, is out for Orlando. I know you've been a Banchero stan all season long. Are we touting him tonight? Are we on board? How do we feel about Banchero and the Magic?
I'm double the field on Banchero currently. I think I have 48%. Just an up and pace matchup for Chicago. And they're pretty much, you're getting everything at the rim that you want. So Paolo and Franz are going to make a lot of sense for me. Cole Anthony, I guess, is fine at 5K. I don't have a ton of him. But if you want to play him, obviously it's a pace up matchup for Chicago. Wendell Carter. I think Wendell Carter is the one that at 5'3", I'm not going to have much interest in. I know everyone likes a little revenge. I think Wendell Carter was on the Bulls like 5 years ago. But yeah, I think the Bulls have been better defensively around the rim lately. Still a rim funnel like for the wings and stuff like that. But for a guy like Carter, if Collins is in there, Collins has been better, especially if he's starting. So I think I'm off Carter.
We also saw he didn't close last game. The last game closing for it was Isaac. Isaac was closing in lieu of him. So yeah, I think he's in the pool for making a bunch of lineups, but I don't feel amazing about it. Kind of like you're saying.
I can assure you one guy I'm not playing is Jonathan Isaac.
I'm not playing him either.
Even if he closed, yeah. 3-2, no chance. Giddey was ruled in. Like, Giddey's been fantastic of late, and he's someone that I like to get in my lineup. So I guess in tournaments, Giddey would be someone you want to consider. And that would pretty much be about it for me in this game.
It feels like a pretty big price for Giddey, and the matchup's not very good. I know he's been paying off that salary. What are we projecting for him? Like, just no ownership, basically. 8.5 on DK. It's just a daunting price. You got to get like, at least 45 if you're 8.5. And his median projection is like 37 as of right now. Doesn't mean you can't play him. And again, he's just not going to be rostered. I'm pulling up the ownership stuff, giving a refresh on the old lineup HQ. I'm on DK right now. I'll jump and see if there's anything distinctly different on FanDuel. But yeah, Banchero 25%, Wagner at 20. Those are the two, the two big spends. And then Anthony at 15%, Carter at 13. Chicago, nobody in Chicago above like 6%. So they look like they're not really well positioned. If you want to play them in large field, big money up top, sure, whatever, have at it. But I do not anticipate grabbing much Chicago. FanDuel, as far as ownership, I'll take a peek over there as well. Anything distinctly different? Banchero 38%, Wagner 33%. Trey Jones is getting some ownership over there. What's the difference in price? He's 4.6 on FanDuel. How much is he on DK? He must have got a bigger bump. 4.8. Yeah. I mean, do you feel great about Trey Jones? I don't feel great about it.
The other night, it was a pace-up matchup, good spot. I think it was versus Washington, was it? Maybe not. But Orlando's pace down. I don't have much interest in Trey Jones. Like, we're getting his – in terms of pace, it's terrible. So that's why none of these Chicago guys are really popping.
Yeah, that game was against Cleveland, I believe you're talking about.
Cleveland, yep. Sorry.
But there was no Giddey, and Giddey's back, so his minutes are less predictable, less reliable. We're giving him 25 or so. I don't like it. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to be a full pass there. I'm just tilted. I'm tilted. We got a winner already on Fleet Thursday. It happened too fast. I really liked one of my clues that I'm not going to be able to use, and well, we'll still play it out. But we'll go ahead and drop them just for fun. But we do already have a winner in the Discord channel, a winner in 2. Shout out to the Discord. We'll call it out soon enough. You got
finally the clues were like normal. These were normal clues. It's good.
Well, do you know the answer?
I don't know the answer. I don't play the game. I refuse.
It's your protesting. It's fine. Bulls Magic. Anything else, or moving on?
Let's get on with it.
All right. So there are 3 7:30 games. The next game's 8 o'clock. Again, the slate is split up very, very clearly. 5-1. 5-1. New York and LA starts 2 hours after the 5th of 6 games. Locks Houston and New Orleans. This is the first of 3 7:30 games. Should we skip Philadelphia and Boston just in case we get news? Yeah, let's skip that one, and we'll circle back, but we probably won't get anything. And I was going to say, like, let's skip it, and then we go to Indiana and Atlanta. But guess what? We don't have full clarity there either. Let's go to Golden State and Brooklyn. Let's knock that one out. Well, maybe that won't be a little bit quicker, and we'll still get nothing. 223 is the total. The Warriors, they happen to be 11-point favorites here. Who's in and who's out for this one? Well, we have 2 really healthy teams. Brooklyn, only Clowney is out and Melton is out. Claxton officially in. Their injury report has been shrinking. And as far as the Warriors, GP3, the mitten, he's good to go. That's Gary Payton. He's available. I think he's going to be wearing he's got a nose. So I think he's wearing a mask. And then Kuminga, we haven't seen him forever. But otherwise, these teams are really, really clean. The environment between these 2 teams, not spectacular. We always, sure, if you want, you can always play Steph. Sure, have a good time, have at it. Can he drop 40 points in the bucket just by himself? Yeah, I guess so. But Brooklyn is the slowest team in basketball. I don't like this game. Did you want to change my mind? How do you feel about the Warriors and Brooklyn?
Yeah, I don't feel great. I think I have like 2%. Cam Thomas, that's literally it. Nick Claxton, I guess, at 5.5 is someone you can consider. I'm not going there. Brandon Podziemski with Jimmy Butler on the floor. He's been fantastic. He's getting good minutes, 5.8. He's fine. You can always play Steph, but I'm not playing Steph, especially just like I feel like I never get to Steph, but I feel like that's pretty much the entire industry. So
he's always a little bit overpriced.
Yeah, he's always a little bit overpriced. I saw Eric Johnson in chat touted Draymond.
Okay.
I don't think I might have not played Draymond all season. Like I will not play him. The last word I think I got to was Jimmy Butler. He's out tonight, correct? Or no, he's in.
No, Butler's in. His thing is like, he's been helping out. Like the team's been playing well, but he's not really crushing the box score. 10 games, 305 minutes for Golden State on the season. He's averaging 1.1 DK fantasy points per minute. Is that super appealing for somebody that's 8K?
No, I can't get to Butler. I tried it for Charlotte the other night. Didn't work out.
Yeah, he's just and Golden State, you're playing a little bit less minutes all around. It seems like every once in a while they get elevated, but he's averaging 30 minutes per game for them. I feel like the price is not fully adjusted for the environment there with Golden State's. We're projecting 31. 30 minutes for Green, 32 for Curry, Pod's 31, and then all the fringe guys are just they're in flux depending on. But it's not. You might find one guy that like, oh wow, look who I discovered, but I don't know how to pick. Is it a Moses Moody night? Maybe, but I'm not playing him. I got nothing. I got nothing as far as Golden State and the Brooklyn side you mentioned. Let me just pull up the ownership because the ownership's not there either, with the exception of I guess Pods is getting 18%. He's fine, but I don't think I'm playing him. Claxton at 12. You mentioned Claxton. Green at 11. Cam Thomas, the minutes are not spectacular. 27 minutes, 8% ownership on DK. Is it FanDuel where he's got a decent price? I think he's got a better price over there. He's 6'2" over there. I'm just crossing this game out. I don't know if it goes double overtime. That's okay. I got Netflix. I'll fire something else up, and I'll take the L for the night. We'll move on, and we'll start all over tomorrow at 0. But yeah, nothing else. I got nothing else. You?
That's it. Did we get any news?
No, of course not. Wait, hold on a second. Maybe we did. We got Jonathan Isaac ruled out, which retroactively, I think that makes Wendell Carter a little better.
It does make Carter better because we figure he closes now.
Bataze is still lurking, but we've talked about Bataze. You can draw a line from the time he had his concussion before and after. He's not been good. He's been very bad. So I think Carter gets a bump. I'm curious, what do we have for Carter as far as minutes? I think it's somewhat meaningful. We had 28 minutes to Carter, so I guess maybe he gets 29 or 30. I'm not sure. We're giving 18 to Bataze, so maybe it goes 30-18. And we were giving 15 to Isaac. Okay. Incremental bump, I imagine. And like you said, the more likely he will close now than before. Not that he wasn't necessarily, but with Isaac gone, that's not going to happen. We didn't mention Collins or Jalen Smith. It's just the prices have bumped up and the matchup's not great, and they just sort of caught up where they should be as far as Zach Collins and Jalen Smith. Is that where we're at on that? I think so.
I think it's pretty much caught up on both of them, so I'm not interested.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I thought maybe Jalen Smith, but again, this slate is good. There's enough value, and we'll talk about it, and we might get even more if we don't break the news. Of course, crunch time, we'll talk about it. But the next one is we have that third clue. We'll play out the Fleet Thursday. By the way, the third clue is scrolling Hall of Fame. Do want to shout out who took it down. Blink 182 was a repeat winner. Blink 182 took it down as far as today's Fleet Thursday. We'll give them more clues. We'll give all 5 clues, and we'll let those just hanging out on YouTube get the answer for fun. All right. The next game is the Pacers and the Hawks. Let's talk about it. 248.5 is the total. Big boy total, high and tight. Indiana is a 3-point favorite. Getting news now? No, just some Blazers stuff for tomorrow. Who's in? Who's out? Well, that's the tricky part. We don't know about Halliburton. That's important. He's been awesome of late. Kind of an up and down season. He's been up very much so of late. Not just Halliburton, but Mathurin, Benedict Mathurin, also questionable. He's got a wrist. Halliburton, they gave him a hip. So, decent chance? I don't know. It's hard to say. I have no idea if he's going to play or not. Jalen Johnson, of course, still out for Atlanta, out for the season. Nance, Krejci, same dudes. And as always, Atlanta puts Trae Young at probable, and then he plays. He's got that Achilles. One of these times, he's not going to play, but pretty much every time he plays when he's listed probable. This is an excellent game environment, Bobby, right? 248, biggest total on the board, and it's expected to be close. A 3-point line, a couple of clear studs in Young and Halliburton, some secondary guys in Dyson Daniels and Pascal Siakam. How are we seeing the Hawks and the Pacers?
Yeah, so I really like this game, mainly the Indiana side. I think Pascal Siakam's in a very, very strong spot. Atlanta's rim defense isn't good. They struggle with rim protection, especially in transition. It should be an up and down game. Halliburton, I have a good bit of. Halliburton's been absolutely on fire. I think he's averaging like 50 fantasy points over his last 10 or so games. So, like, for me, I find myself getting to a lot of Halliburton. I also think he plays, Dean. I have him at 92% to play. So I'm in on the Halliburton train. Aaron,
you got a Mr. Predicto or a Magic 8 Ball? How'd you go 98%, 92%?
92.
You got a guy? You know a guy?
I got a guy, yep. Got a guy.
You got a guy in Indiana or Atlanta, I guess?
In Indiana, yep.
Yeah.
That's what he texted me, 92% to play. So
okay. So
I'm in on Halliburton. Aaron Neesmith at 4,800. I feel like he was popping more earlier in the day. I'm fine with him as well. I think he's probably my third favorite pacer. And I'd go Miles Turner at 6,300. It's a good spot for Turner versus Atlanta. They have a 125-point team total, Indiana. So, like, I want a good bit of these guys. In terms of run backs, though, like, I really dislike Trae Young. Like, I hate playing him. I feel like we talk about this every show.
I tend to not favor him as well. Every once in a while I'll get to him, but yeah.
Yeah.
When he
hits my stuff, I don't feel great. I will say this. I feel like a lot of people have been poo-pooing him today, and pretty much like from stuff that I've listened to. So I don't know. I just think he does have the ceiling upside, so you have to consider him in the spot versus the Pacers and the pace of this game. I prefer going to these value guys like Ricochet at 4-4 as a run back, or Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert coming off a good night the other night. I think he had 33 DK. I'd prefer Ricochet if I had to pick between the two, but those are probably my favorite run backs. And if I had to pick between Trey and Dyson Daniels, I'd probably lean Dyson Daniels as well. I think Dyson Daniels just does so much in terms of stocks. I think he's a great FanDuel play, but still like playing him on DK as well. So those would be my three main run backs from this game.
The tricky thing with, you mentioned Ricochet, you mentioned LeVert. I don't know if you mentioned Yang, the minivan, but like you just don't know if those guys are going to close. Like it's just sort of, it's like game flow. There's no certainty. Ricochet is going to start. Is he going to close? I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe LeVert closes. Maybe Niang closes. Maybe Terrence Mann closes. It's just you don't know, right? It's going to be Daniels.
I think Niang would close.
Okay.
He closed the last game. I'm pretty positive.
I don't think so, actually.
No, he didn't.
But a lot of it's like, matchup.
They got blown out. Yeah, I think they got blown out. I don't know,
last game they played Milwaukee. And let's see, Niang did not close. They closed with Gay, Muhammad Gay, Daniels, Young, Ricochet, Okungwu, and LeVert.
Muhammad Gay was on fire though.
No, it wasn't Ricochet. It was Gay, Daniels, Young, Okungwu, and LeVert. Yeah.
Gay and LeVert had very good games. The game before, I think Niang probably closed.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't predict. Like, that was Gay's best game ever, basically, in the pros. You can't predict that. He's been falling out of favor. Like, he would start and then just disappear. But yeah, that's just getting on the right side of that is tricky. But certainly there's an upside to Niang. There's an upside to LeVert. There's downside to Ricochet. He may not start. May not close. He almost definitely will start. But it's just figuring out who closes, especially in this matchup. Two of the fastest teams, top 8 as far as pace, I believe. Atlanta is second. Indiana is 8th when it comes to a pace in the league. Just of note, this is the most appealing environment. We mentioned Trae Young in passing. He's like the 7th most popular player in this game, which is, I understand salary is a thing. We do live in the world of a salary cap, but that is interesting, right? Okungwu, 18%, Ricochet, 17%, Daniels, 16%, Yang, 15%, LeVert, 13%, Young at 8 or 9%. I'm not chasing the Muhammad Gay game. Neither is the field. Good for him. He had a good basketball game, but I do not expect that to repeat. Anything else? Do you want to give me your fair play on each side of Indiana and Atlanta? If you had one guy, I think you said Daniels at Atlanta.
No, I think it's Ricochet for me on Atlanta and Siakam on the Pacers.
Yeah, I like the Pascal call as well. All right. By the way, Trae Young officially available with his Achilles. All right, 7:30 game. So I thought maybe we would get some news at 6 o'clock on the dot. Every once in a while that happens. And 90 minutes before, there's a presser of some sort. There's TNT's in the house. We got nothing as far as Philadelphia and Boston. TNT must be miserable with the starting lineups that are projected. I'm sure they're going to have nothing to say about this, Shaq and Barkley. Again, if you guys missed the part of the show, we run down who's in and out. We'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, Philly and Boston, 218s in total. Boston playing the back half of back-to-back. They are 13-point favorites, despite being down and without a slew of dudes. Who's not playing tonight for Boston? Well, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, Porzingis, all out. Jaylen Brown, they gave him a knee, so he's out. And Tatum has got a shoulder, he's questionable. Hauser's got an ankle, and he is questionable. I think we might be getting stuff coming in now. The Hauser's out. Okay, I thought he would be out because he legit got hurt last night. So Hauser's out, but Tatum is in. Yeah, okay. I mean, Tatum's going to be running the show. I don't think they start Peyton Pritchard. They just don't like to, and they are very much not that it's like it's inevitable, it's going to happen, but you know the 6-man award they want to set that up for him. Not again, he could start, and it's not a big deal. Yesterday he did not start. He played 43 minutes and he scored 43 points. Absolutely bonkers. 14 of 20 from the field, 10 of 16 from three. Like that's not necessarily repeatable, but and he had 10 rebounds. Peyton Pritchard had 10 rebounds? How does that happen? Good for him. Just spectacular. 69 DK points. I paused. 69 DK points. Spectacular job there by Pritchard. And probably doesn't start again, but like once he's in the game, he's in the game. Just going to start. They might start Jordan Walsh for Hauser. We're currently projecting. I was checking this out too before the shows. I ran a Court IQ. I'm like, how much has Cornette and Queta played together this year? Because that's, you know, two bigs, not great for spacing. However, they're down on a bunch of dudes, Bobby, right? And Yabusele and Drummond on the other side. Like, if you're ever going to run a combination of Cornette and Queta, you're probably going to run them against a combination like Drummond and Yabusele. Kind of sort of old school basketball, right? They did play for 20 minutes or so. Where'd my Court IQ go? They have played together, is the point. Not a lot. You know, you wouldn't play Cornette and Queta together a lot. Maybe 20 minutes or so. Possibly it was garbage time. I don't know. But, yeah, Peyton Pritchard is going to jump off the page and be the chalkiest of plays tonight. Derek White is going to get a ton of usage. And, of course, as far as big spends, Bobby, Jason Tatum, at least two Celtics in every lineup? At least two? Am I crazy to say at least two? It's going to be at least two, right?
I'm with at least two currently. That's where I'm kind of leaning. But yeah, at least two, I would definitely say. You're removing Jaylen Brown's usage, Porzingis. Yeah, at least two. I like Luke Cornette tonight. Pritchard's definitely my favorite play at 5.5, and he's probably gonna be a lock bun for me, but Cornette's a guy I think I'm probably gonna play more than I usually do, just because of his price tag, the front court of Philly. That's kind of where I'm leaning. Tatum is fantastic. I think I prefer the Magic guys to Tatum, or getting to like Siakam and Halliburton, but Tatum's obviously Tatum. You know what I mean?
Is TNT forcing Boston to play Tatum? Like, he's kind of guilty. Like, if he wasn't playing, who's like, you know what I mean? Again, everybody else is gone. They're already miserable enough.
Are we sure Tatum plays?
He's probably. They just said he's playing, unless something changes.
Yeah.
The news just came through. Hauser out, Tatum in. By the way, Edwards available for Philadelphia. We'll talk about them in a second.
Yeah, I don't really have much. Actually, Justin Edwards, I don't think is the worst play on Philly. My favorite play from Philly is going to stand out to you, Dean.
Hold on. Well, can I guess? Is that you're setting up me to guess here or what?
Yeah, you can guess.
Okay. And again, I didn't get the rundown again. Edwards is in, but like Embiid, Paul George, Eric Gordon, Maxey, Lowry, McCain, might have missed somebody, but that's all those guys are out. Edwards is in. I think your favorite play on Philly is a salary save. Well, it might be Grimes. It's either Grimes or Butler or Walker. Well, now I'm just naming all the guys. It's one of those three. It's either Grimes, Butler, or Walker. I don't know. You just go ahead and tell me. It's one of those three.
Lonnie, professional basketball player, Lonnie Walker, 3,400. I think the field's going to prefer Butler. Lonnie's playing well. Like, you could see him touch 30 minutes. I don't know what we have from currently for minutes. Is definitely not that.
25.
25. Yeah. He knows how to score. I like me some Lonnie Walker at 3.4. After that, it would be Quentin Grimes at 6-1. He's just coming into a different role in this pretty beat up Philly team. He's getting a ton of usage, ton of minutes. We have him for 36 minutes. I think he's great.
Do you know how many first half minutes he played last game?
What'd you say?
Do you know how many first half minutes Grimes played last game?
All of them, I'm going to guess.
All of them, but like 1 minute and 20 seconds. He came out at the 4-minute mark in the first quarter, played the entire second quarter, played all of the third quarter with the exception of the last minute and a half, and then played the first 6 minutes or so of the fourth quarter, and the game just blew out. But he was on pace to play like 43 minutes or more. So, again, you can't project him for 43 minutes. It is a national TV game. Once upon a time, we used to talk about Nick Nurse as being this coach that just runs his players. Remember, he used to run his players on the ground in Toronto? He would play his starters. You know, they were good, like Lowry and DeRozan at the time. 38 minutes or so, 40 minutes on the rig, a little bit of Thibodeau, deal. And there's nobody left. So, and he doesn't want to get fully embarrassed on that. He's already embarrassing enough to be the head coach of the 76ers right now. But I think you might get 43, 44 minutes. And you're national TV, you get extra commercials, a little bit more rest. Again, cannot project that, but sure. And again, the game blows out. He doesn't play the last few minutes or so. So I do like Grimes, especially as runbacks, right? Because we're going to play at least 2 Celtics in every lineup. At least I am. I shouldn't say we, but we both kind of like agree that that's probably going to be our way of attacking. I saw somebody in chat. Yeah, Steven was saying, I can't imagine Boston starting Queta and Cornette together. And again, that's not for certain. We'll know. We'll know at 7 o'clock, I imagine. But again, if you're going to do it, you probably do it against this kind of lineup of Yabusele. By the way, it's a revenge game. Remember Yabusele? That's where he got his nickname on Boston, Dancing Bear. That's where it originated. I'm sure he's really, I don't know if he's vengeful or not. Yeah, this is the best game on the slate, right? All things considered, I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is from a value perspective for sure. Yeah, I love this game. I think a lot of you're gonna have a lot of run backs, I would imagine, in game stacks of this game. Yabusele at 5,100. He would be probably my third favorite 76er. Do you have any thoughts on like Drummond? Because is he back?
He's been terrible like all season. Like
that's what I'm saying. He's been absolutely as bad as you can possibly be. But then this week
he was awesome against Portland.
Yeah.
And he was good against Golden State.
He had like 50 in the first half or something. What did he have in the first half?
Well, against Portland, he had 55 DK points in total, 18 rebounds, 25 points. It's kind of an outlier. He did play 29 minutes. He gets in foul trouble all the time. Look, I think he's in the pool, like sure, but it could be ugly too. He's frustrating these days. He's like the oldest 31-year-old. He's been around forever. He came into the league at 18, I think, maybe 19.
He thinks he's a Hall of Famer, so maybe he's trying to get the stats up.
Does he think he said this before? He hasn't said that.
Yeah, he said that. He thinks he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think so. I've always said this.
Google it. He said it. He said it.
If he was born like 30 years before when he was actually born, he would be in the Hall of Fame right now. He would have dominated the 90s. Yeah. By the way, Halliburton is out.
They had him at 92% to play, Dean.
Yeah. We'll go back to your sources. Matherin's out too. So is it Timothy John McConnell season? Huh.
It's McConnell's gonna start hitting a bunch of stuff now.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we got 2 games to get to as well. All right. I want to see what our projections are going to say, but like now all of a sudden the Pacers are going to look good. We're going to have a bump up for Siakam when it comes to usage. Nemhard's minutes are going to be really, really solid. Again, Matherin out too. Okay. Want to see what projections do. We actually had an if-then set up if both those guys are out, so we can take a peek before it officially posts. But yeah, McConnell, the projection was 26 minutes, and this might change. This is what it was, earlier. About 32, 33 DK FanDuel points as a median projection, and his price is 3.9. So you're probably playing TJ McConnell. You're probably going to be playing.
I can't imagine when I rerun stuff, if I'm not getting 80+% TJ McConnell, I'll be very surprised.
Also, what a great matchup. This is the environment he thrives in.
This is it, yeah.
Against
McConnell might move ahead of Pritchard in my I'm still playing.
I mean, pairing them together is going to be so popular, but it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. Pritchard should be 7. Pritchard should be at least 1,000, 2,000 more, I feel like.
Yes. Yeah. Even though he's not going to start, almost definitely, he still probably plays 35 minutes. We have a lot of value to play with. So, yeah, and we haven't really talked about the Lakers. We'll talk about them in a second.
I think Luke is going to start to hit more stuff now.
I think so, too. Well, yeah, once the value starts coming in, the slate's going to become more star scrubsy. And earlier in the day, LeBron and Luka weren't really smashing stuff. It was a little bit more of like the Banchero types, right? Where it's a little bit cheaper, but still looks pretty good. Curious to see how that projects. Oh, let's drop those last couple of clues because we are behind. We did get a winner. Blink 182 should be called Bink 182. Blink 182 took it down once again. Getting today's Sleep Thursday, the fourth clue, and we'll drop the fifth one as well, just to kind of let the people see. The fourth one is 2 first names, and the fifth clue is Portillo's. Portillo's is the fifth clue. Okay. New Orleans. New Orleans is playing basketball. They're home versus the Rockets. 231 is the total. New Orleans is about a 4 or 5 point underdog. Who's in, who's out for this one. It is an island game for New Orleans, so no shenanigans. As far as Zion is in. Boston is out. Herb is out for the season. Murray's out for the season. As far as the Rockets, nothing new. FEV, Freddie VanVleet, he's out. Otherwise, anybody else of relevance is in. My bold call was in this game. I had a Şengün, Alperen Şengün, dropping the old triple-double tonight against New Orleans. New Orleans gives up the second most points in the paint to opponents. I believe it's like the third most rebounds and the fourth most assists. They are a great opponent for yielding fantasy points. And I don't know how much ownership Şengün's going to get. Now, again, you're going to have some salary to play with, so you can get there if you want to now. How do you feel about the Rockets and the Pels?
Yeah, so I think Şengün's going to pop definitely a little bit more than what I'm currently getting him. Like you said, there's just more salary to go around. Tari Eason at 5.5 was someone I'm interested to getting to. He's been really trending well all day in projections, so he was my favorite Rocket. Now it may be Şengün because we just have more value. Amen Thompson at 8.7. I think that price is kind of high for Amen. Just doesn't, the shot volume's not there enough. Pretty much banking on if he does everything else,
which he can,
and gets to a bonus, which he can. I know he's your favorite player in the league. He's kind of become mine too in a lot of ways, but
yeah,
I don't think I'm getting to a ton of Amen. I like the price on Jalen Green. I think the field does as well. We have him at 19% ownership. Or we did. I should refresh.
Yeah, ownership's going to change because it's going to shuffle up, and I'm running some new lineups. As far as lineup HQ, they just got the Pacers update, so I imagine, McConnell is the most popular player hitting my lineups now. My lineup is, again, this is just like the optimal stuff, and I've added some bells and some whistles, but I capped it at 87%. McConnell's the only guy hitting 87% on DK. Second guy hitting is Pritchard. Third guy, Pascal Siakam. Fourth guy, Grimes. Fifth guy, Nembhard. Then Tatum, then Banchero. It's Pacers and it's Celtics. And then you can get Wagner and Banchero if you want as well. It's pretty straightforward. What the interesting thing is, I didn't mean to cut you off and hijack this, but the interesting thing is that
you did.
I'm not seeing a lot of Lakers, which is like, if we can get low on LeBron is at 11%, Luka at 4%. I think that's a good route. If you can get over on that, I don't think we're getting a ton of cat either. No cat, 0 in all lineups I made. That's wild. I'm not forcing anything, to be clear. So, okay. we'll talk about that game in a second, but I think that's probably a good strategy to get over on those two. But I'll throw it back to you. I'm sorry, but I just thought that was worth noting the update and how this the slate is shaken out.
No, you're good. You're good. Jalen Green dropped to 16%. I still think at that tag, it's a good price tag for Jalen Green. In terms of these Pelicans on the other side, like no real interest in Zion, no interest in Troy Murphy. Like I'm not getting to CJ McCollum at 7K. Yeah, that's those guys I'm not really getting to at all. Kelly Olynyk, who I feel like we were playing, but the price is kind of caught up to him at 5.9, so not really interested there. No one on the Pelicans. Do you have any interest in the Pelicans?
Probably not. Like, Zion's still playing with that cap. I think he got to 29, maybe 30. Where is he at now?
We bumped him to 29 minutes, yeah. So he probably
McCollum, they don't really get him beyond 30. He played 29. He did play 31 versus Phoenix. He destroyed Phoenix. I think that game was he put a big hurting on them. Triple dub, 27, 10, and 11. God, Phoenix is terrible. But he's been awesome, like fantasy point per minute. I just don't know if I'm getting there. Again, if you're running 150, if you're shooting for first in a contest that gets 30% up top, by all means, play some Zion, but I'm probably not playing him in the few lineups I make. I like the idea of rostering Şengün, and I still don't think he's going to get played all that much. Let me see the centers that I'm getting. They're not Şengün, I don't think.
There's no way he's going to be played very highly.
Cornet, Turner is going to get a bump. Cornet, Turner, Okongwu, Carter, all these guys. I got 4% Şengün. So I love him in tournaments. I really, really like him. And Amen as well. So both those guys could get triple doubles, like for real. They're both threats to get a triple double.
I agree with the Şengün. I don't necessarily agree with Amen Thompson.
Fair enough. Let's talk about New York and the Lakers before crunch time. Crunch time showing up in about 5-10 minutes or so, depending on, I believe that's Kevin Roth as well as Taylor Smith coming in. And Kirkwood. Kirkby's going to be jumping on as well. So Tiny Hands Nation, the leader of the Juggalos Nation. Shout out to the Jugs. Let's talk about New York and the Lakers. 231, back half of the TNT doubleheader. Lakers are 3-point favorites here. Injury report, it is clean. Luka, good to go. He's probable. LeBron's probable. Like Trae Young, those guys always have probable tags. LeBron especially. Rui is still out. Maxi Kleber's yet to make his debut. Austin Reeves upgraded to probable with his calf. As far as New York, OG is questionable. Precious is questionable. If Cat playing, Mitrov is questionable too. I don't think this stuff matters. If OG's out, I think that McBride could be interesting. With Cat being back, and we saw last time when Cat was in and Mitrov was in, not last game, but the last time that scenario played out, that Precious had a DMP CD. Again, Precious questionable, Mitrov questionable. I don't think you're getting either one of those guys because Cat is there. Your assessment of New York and the Lakers, and again, 15 game rolling assessment. The Lakers still have the best defense in basketball, which is spectacular. They've been playing awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good spot for Luka. Knicks have been very bad on defense, pretty much in every metric. Bottom 9 DVP against point guards as of late. So Luka, I think, is phenomenal. It's just, do we have the value, which I currently think we do now.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with LeBron. His matchups not as good as Luka's, but he's LeBron and he's very good at the basketball. So yeah, the basketball stuff, it's fantastic. They were arguing on Boston Sports Radio yesterday who was better, LeBron or Jordan. They were like, "Oh, LeBron's like the 5th best behind Bird."
Are they bored? Is it what like that?
Magic Johnson, yeah. And I was listening to it, and I was like, "These, you can't be serious, right?"
I mean, you're never going to get a consensus or like an answer that anybody agrees with. It's like the default. We got nothing today. What should we talk about? Okay,
we're doing it right now. On the other side, Jalen Brunson, like I feel like I'd rather go to him than Towns versus the Lakers. But I think they're both very much in play. See Brunson, a little ping pong with Brunson and Luka, if you can get there, I think would be different. Yeah, as like the late night hammer. Just kind of I'm not getting many Knicks. We didn't bump up Josh Hart in projections for his birthday, so
It's his birthday today. I was not aware.
that's what someone said in chat. Yeah.
You mentioned the defense. The defense would be better if OG's in. It would get weakened a little bit if OG's out. Yeah, Hart's a good defender. OG's a good defender. I was trying to think if OG does not play. I think McBride. I think we have an if-then set up for it. Let me go ahead and see if we can pull this up real quick. Well, yeah, we have OG and Mitrov out. They combine the two. But yeah, McBride would get about a 35-minute projection. So, and that's mostly, I think, if OG is out. Mitrov being out would affect Precious. I'm pretty sure. I'm not on the projection team. That's where my brain puts that together. I don't know if I want to be sitting there waiting for McBride, for OG not to play. I assume he plays. Do you have a New York guy that's better than your Indiana guy? Is OG playing tonight?
OG? What do we have for if he's sitting
questionable? Around? Yeah, remember you said that Halliburton 92%.
I have a New York guy. Yeah, I hope it's better than what we got for Indiana.
It's not the same guy. I hope
my New York guy has OG and Anunoby 31% to play.
Oh, really? I would bet he's in, but okay, interesting. It is the front half of
rolling average, Dean. What I'm looking at, it's rolling of the 5 times they've been starting or sitting, so it's not accurate. It's not totally.
Is that a real number you're pulling from somewhere?
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. I didn't know such a thing existed, but yeah, I would love to see some of them they're like 3%. The guys that are questionable for months. Luka or LeBron?
I'd go Luka.
Did we get an update for ownership? No, because McConnell's still 2%. I saw somebody in chat said, "How can McConnell be only be 2%?" It's like, dude, give it a second. The news just broke. Like, let them do their work. There's a lot of buttons and levers that need to be pulled, but I assure you that they're going to bump up McConnell's ownership before lock, and it's going to be higher than 2%.
I couldn't imagine doing NBA projections, and
it's tough. It's a thankless job because jerks like me are like, oh, I think that's wrong. It's wrong by 2 minutes. And I never point out hey, good job. I think they're incorrect. It should be 31 and then not 29.
You just expect them to be good every night.
What's that?
We just expect the expectation is they're going to be quality every night, and it's just impossible.
Yeah, it's definitely a thankless job and a grind for sure. It's a team. It's a team of people. It's not just one person. Kyle's on it. Nap's on it.
Kyle's very good at it.
Yeah. I always like when we have somebody on the show that does the projections too, because they're thinking about that stuff all day long and can't even get out of their head. But
so you'd rather me not on the show, Dean, is what you're saying.
No, that wasn't you give us information like 92% chance that Halliburton's going to play.
He sits. We've been pretty good with that, though. I will say I've been pretty on the ball. That was one mistake.
We do have crunch time coming in here shortly.
Thankless job.
It's all thankless.
Yeah.
But that's DFS, right? Like you could be wrong 10 slates in a row, or wrong. You can lose 10 slates in a row, and you win that one, and all of a sudden that made up for the 10 you lost, right? Yeah. We're signing up for mostly disappointment, though, in small doses. And
you have to be a very insane person to want to grind DFS, especially NBA DFS.
Yes, yeah, you got to be something. You got to be something for sure. Today's Fleet Thursday. I do want to shout out Blink-182. Let's go through the clues for the people. They've guessed it in chat as well in the YouTube. By the way, there's a poll up. Hit the like button. Okay or okay. Okay at 88%, and okay is at 12%. So there you go. Looks like we got an update as far as ownership projections. Mr. Richards telling us McConnell currently sits at 52% on FanDuel, and yeah, he's going to be very, very heavily owned. The first clue for today's Sleep Thursday, it is swing, which people were guessing some golfers and some tennis players, but it is a baseball player. 2 is injured, which is a reference to this person's nickname. 3, they are a Hall of Famer. 2 first names. You know what 2 first names are. This person has 2 first names. And the last clue, I'm kind of proud of this last clue. We never got there. Kind of mentioned it. Portillo's. Are you aware of Portillo's? You know what Portillo's is?
No idea.
Yeah, you could have Googled. Somebody might have Googled. That's necessary.
It's a minor league baseball team. I know that.
What?
I think it's a minor league baseball team, the Portillos.
I don't think so.
It seems like it would be the name of a minor league baseball team.
I've never been to Portillo's. I've never been to Chicago, but my understanding that Portillo's.
Oh, that's what they have the hot dogs, right?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking with minor league baseball. I've been there. I've been there.
You've been there? Okay, yeah. So I haven't been. I think it's just Illinois. I'm fairly certain it might have branched out outside of Illinois or Chicago, but they are known for their hot dogs, right? And it's in Chicago or Illinois. What's another term for a hot dog? What else could a hot dog be? What else do you call a hot dog?
A sandwich.
Well, you could call it a sandwich. Some people they also talk about that.
I don't agree with that, but I don't know. A Frank.
Yeah. Yes.
So who was the player? I read the chat.
Okay. We just determined that a hot dog is also known as a Frank, and we're talking about Chicago.
The Big Hurt.
Yes. Are you just reading
this is honestly, I will say this was your best so far. It gives everyone a chance. You know what I mean? Like, this was the best one so far. Look how red your face is getting. You're so happy with that compliment.
Yeah, it's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Producer Steve saying a hot dog is also I've heard glizzy. I've never used that before. Is that, I've heard that before. I think that's also a term for a hot dog. And wiener, of course, we know wiener. Italian beef. Yeah, Italian beef's big in Chicago as well. That's my understanding. But there you go. And we learned something new. And they have something in Portillo's called a cake shake. They put a big, massive piece of cake inside of a shake to make it healthier. Are you aware of this? Did you have that when you were at Portillo's?
I think I might have got the Italian beef, actually. I don't think I got a hot dog.
Yeah.
Bachelor party. There's this homeless guy out front. And it was one of the most craziest interactions I ever had in my life.
Okay. Right on the set of a scene out of The Bear or something like that?
Yeah. He was probably from the West Side, I guess. That's if I had to guess.
All right, let's go.
I thought I was going to get shaken down, Dean.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're still with us, Bobby.
Yeah.
Steve is making me laugh with his gifts in chat. We should have Kirkwood coming here momentarily. Let's go ahead and bring your crunch time anyway. Before we do that, though, who's breaking the slate, Bobby? Who's breaking the slate wide open? The slate has been broken and flipped on its head multiple times, but an individual player that's breaking the slate tonight is who?
It's a tough one, Dean. It's a really tough one. TJ McConnell's like the very easy one.
Yeah. I
think I'm going to go with a value play that could get lost in the shuffle now because I don't think anyone's going to be. Well, people will still be on 76ers. I'm going to go back to Lonnie Walker at 3-4. I like that.
Okay.
Say he gets 30. No, that's not breaking the slate there, right?
That's pretty good. So somebody said it's a revenge game. I don't remember him playing for.
He was with the Celtics for like a week at the beginning of the season.
Okay, yeah, because I just pulled a Basketball Reference, and his picture looks like he's on the Celtics, but there's no stats on the Celtics. So I'm confused.
I don't know why. I've always liked Lonnie Walker. I don't know why they let him go.
You don't have to ask him twice to take a shot. Not the most efficient guy. Wasn't he playing overseas somewhere? Wasn't he playing like in Asia somewhere? Maybe he's back. I guess he's definitely back. But I thought he was playing basketball overseas. All right, let's do it. Crunch time. We should have Kirkwood now, I think, maybe. Definitely going to have Taylor. Certainly going to have Roth. Crunch time right now. All right. Do you guys know what a glizzy is? Anybody know what a glizzy is?
No? Kids call a hot dog these days. The cool kids.
Well, I'm not.
We're not that. Yeah, I love how you were like a wiener. You know, of course, you know a wiener.
He said that. Yeah.
Well, that's a classic. You know, that's a hot dog, a wiener, right? Wiener dog.
Yeah.
We're adults here. We can separate.
Good clues, by the way. Very good clues.
Thank you. Well, they guessed it in 2, so it was fast.
Good.
Yeah. Well, we should probably step aside. You guys got 28 minutes. You got some breaking news as well. Still some body parts to monitor. I guess you're probably not going to get New York, but Bobby, you got anything else before you step aside and make way for? You got Taylor, Kirkwood, Roth.
That's it.
All right, that was Bobby. Hit that like button. Steve is getting angry. He's like making polls to force you guys to hit the like button. We're gonna take away even more premium, I imagine. I don't know. We took away Wheel Wednesday as a punishment. Who knows what else is gonna go? Steve he's wielding his power, and he's not happy. So hit that like button on his behalf, on our behalf. Help us keep the lights on. That was Bobby. I was Dean. Roth, take it away.
What's up, guys? Welcome to it. It's crunch time. You know the drill. Student sharpest minds in the biz. Just kind of taking the handoff, running with it, stiff arm, and getting the touchdown, hitting the 3, whatever you want to call it. We got 2 of the sharpest minds in the biz. Kirkdiese in the house. What up, homie?
What up? What up? Doing all right? Had a couple glizzies.
I am, you know what? For a 40-year-old man, I eat a lot of hot dogs. They are a consistent part of my repertoire. Is that weird?
I rarely actually have. Actually, that's the lie. I go to Costco a lot, so I get one at Costco every now and then.
Okay. All right. I get like the Great American Dog at the grocery store. They're healthy, I don't know. They're delicious. Taylor, you a big glizzy guy? You a glizzy guy?
Definitely grew up on glizzies, but it's not exactly a regular part of the rotation these days. Like maybe at a Dodger game or something, but probably it.
All right.
Baseball game, you got to.
Sure. Andrew says I am officially a glizzy gobbler. I guess I am. I can't deny it. Let's roll right into there's this guilty as charged, I suppose. Hey, we got to get to this content because we're 25-ish minutes until lock, and the people need the plays. There's been some moving pieces. Taylor, tell me what's happened real quick and what might still happen.
A lot has happened. The main stuff is Boston being without like 4 starters. Indiana just ruled out Halliburton. Phillies without their big 3. I think the only thing we're really waiting on is OG and Anunoby in the last game of the night. Probably not going to get that until way later, maybe even like half an hour before the game starts. So not much we can do about it. There is a ton of early value. So not like we really need to worry about the Knicks thing too much.
Okay, good stuff. Well, let's dive into it then. Kirk, I'm going to let you lead us off here. We start on FanDuel. We start at point guard. Who do you like?
All right. Well, it gets interesting right off the bat at point guard tonight. So we got all the Boston value. We've got all the Pacer value. The Pacers game, that total is monster with Atlanta. So it's like now we have so much usage up for grabs. And so right off the bat, TJ McConnell, 4,800 underpriced for this game environment and his role now. I don't think he's going to even start, but he's still a good player. So I don't care if they announce him as starter or not. So he's probably the best play. But there's also Peyton Pritchard, who just set some Boston records last night. Went ham, him and Derek White actually, and you needed them to win. I'd be lying if I'd say I'm a little bit worried about him after playing so many minutes in a back-to-back. But this Philly team is like a G League team. They're rolling out there for the most part. And so he's going to project really well. And he should do well. He doesn't have to put up 41 points again. Same thing with Derek White. Awesome play again. Andrew Nembhard now benefits. He's going to be the running point. And when he needs to score, he can score. So this is a really good spot, really good game environment against Trey. So you got to like him. So right there, you've got 3 really strong pieces of value: McConnell, Pritchard, Nembhard, and then White is kind of like a spend up. But if you really want to spend up, you can go Trae Young, who hasn't been doing that great recently, but this is certainly a good spot. So he's in play, or Luka is definitely in play at the end of the night. And someone who really benefits in this game now too is Dyson Daniels. So those are the 2. So if you want a game stack, you can, take the Hawks higher price guys and then just litter it with the values on the Pacers. But really, that's all you need.
Yeah. I feel like the tiny hands play of the day may come from this position, but we can hold off on that until a little later, Kirkwood. In the meantime, Taylor, give me kind of any brief thoughts at point, and then move us right along to shooting guard.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked. I'm curious to see how Luka, the ownership is on Luka, just based on all the cheap stuff we have here. I'm sure he'll still be owned. Last game of the night, it's a game against the Knicks, I think, on national TV. So people are going to want to play it, myself included, no issue with it. McConnell, Pritchard are the core plays. I think Quentin Grimes is good. Derek White over 7K. And then Jared Butler, if he starts, is a good value. If he doesn't, I'd be worried about it. So if he's in, a good punt, or if he's starting, he's a good punt.
Okay. Was that point or shooting guard? I'm sorry.
That was point.
Okay. Then shooting guard, what are we doing?
So most of the same guys carry over. Pritchard, Nembhard, probably core plays. Maybe not Nembhard, but Pritchard definitely core plays still. Grimes, Derek White, Kelly Oubre, just playing a ton of minutes for Philly without the big three. Boston not as imposing defensively without their starters in there, so I like that quite a bit. Dyson Daniels, like Chris said, really good play on the other side of the Indiana game. I don't mind Austin Reeves back from injury tonight. Shouldn't be limited too severely, I wouldn't think. And his price has come down to 7.4 on DK, so I like that in a tournament build. And then Pajemski and Cole Anthony worth kind of dart throws in tournaments.
Okay. Kirkwood, briefly your thoughts at shooting guard, and then move us to small forward.
All right. I quickly will have to address a question in chat. Is it true they want to know that Dean was the hand model in all those Burger King?
It's a good question.
Commercials? I didn't want to sell them out. I didn't want to say anything, but you know what? It's true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So now you guys know.
Crazy.
But these are the same guys: Derek White, Andrew Nembhard, and Amin Thompson. It's definitely a solid play against New Orleans. That game is going to get more and more overlooked now. He's not going to be overlooked. He definitely will get a bunch of ownership tonight, but. That's a great game environment, deserves it. Quentin Grimes has been absolutely balling. I've had some arguments in Discord of whether I think he's going to be a good NBA player long term or not, but he's certainly producing right now. You can go to Dyson Daniels that I already mentioned. There's two plays here that I think that are pretty good that are going to come in lower ownership. I think Karis LeVert, this is the perfect game environment for him. So hoping he gets a bunch of minutes. He's projected to get pretty decent minutes. So this is a game I like him, and he's only 5,900, and he's also small forward eligible as well. And then Cole Anthony in that first game, although I'm probably going to be avoiding everybody but Banchero in that first game.
Okay. Were there small forward thoughts, or were those the small forward thoughts? I'm just reading chat. Very distracted.
Small forward I'll go to right now. So small forward, Banchero, this is a matchup with the Bulls. You don't have to overthink it. It's either he or Franz Wagner are going to go off. Maybe both of them go off. But other than that, Jason Tatum, big hands, great hands. Guy is, he's just crushing. He's had some massive games. I think, if this game stays close, and I think it can, and I certainly do think it can, and Tatum could absolutely go nuke again. Amin Thompson again. Aaron Nesmith is is really solid value play now with all of these people, with Mathurin and Halliburton out. They're going to need him. They're going to need he's kind of on a minutes limit, but they're going to need. He's projected for about 30 minutes, so that's more than enough. He's going to get a bunch of extra usage. He's a strong defender, going to get some hopefully defensive stats. And then there's Quentin Grimes, who I already mentioned. There's Tari Eason. I worry about his ceiling because of the amount of minutes he plays, but when he's out there, that dude is crushing. So I like that. And then it's crazy what LeBron keeps doing. So got to mention him.
Sure. Taylor, your thoughts at small forward, and then move us to power forward.
Yeah, it is a good spot against Chicago for Wagner and Banchero, so I like them both. Probably wouldn't play them together. I would probably max one of those two, but I think you can play them together if you want. Tatum at the high end looks awesome with everybody else out for Boston. Like the LeBron call. Zion on DK's small forward eligible. Always like that, even in a tough spot against Houston. Then Thompson is fine. And then you have some Atlanta value like Reese Shea, Niang, and LeVert. Kind of secondary plays, but worth a sprinkle, I think, tonight.
Power forward?
So Siakam's going to get a big bump without Halliburton. He looks awesome. Probably has more of a ceiling than he normally would. Like the Tari Eason call, Banchero as well in that Magic game, first game of the night. Obi Toppin could be an okay value off the bench, just a good per minute guy. Indiana's going to need scoring without Halliburton in there, so I think that's okay. And then most of the same stuff: Tatum, Risa Shea, LeBron, Zion, maybe Justin Edwards in a large field, probably starting for Philly, but that's about it.
Okay. Kirk, you get to do 4 and 5 for us.
All right. So at power forward, I really like Pascal Siakam now. I may like him more than Banchero, to be honest with you now, because perfect game environment for him, massive total, Halliburton out, guy who can get defensive stats, have to like it. Paul Banchero, like him. Franz again, like him. Like Tatum again. These are all the same names. Naismith again. Obi Toppin now should get a better role in that game. Worry about the ceiling, but he's 4K, so that's fine. Jabari Smith was going to be a lot more popular. I'm kind of out on him right now. He just looks awful. But he is cheap. Doesn't take much to pay off that salary, so I wouldn't blame you doing. But I'd probably rather play Tari Eason instead of him. And then Okongwu certainly has been producing. And then it's Josh Hart birthday day today, so got to throw that happy birthday out.
We like that. Okay, let's go to the center spot. Kirkwood, what are we doing?
All right. So Şengün, awesome play in my opinion, but there is a bunch of value. I also love Miles Turner. Luke Cornett is the value play, and is projecting really well. I don't know how big his ceiling is, to be honest with you, but fine playing him, especially in cash. But like for tournaments, I think I'd rather just get up to Miles Turner and hope that he goes off in this massive total game. And then Wendell Carter benefits a little from Isaac being out. Okongwu. If you want another Celtic backup, Keta. I like him, 4,100. And man, do you guys hear about that Karl Anthony Towns was personal? You guys know anything about that? I just saw that it could be his girlfriend got cancer or somebody in his family got cancer. I don't know, but I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
No, I missed this entirely.
Yeah. Andre Drummond. I like Drummond. I think it's a good spot for him against these backup Celtic bigs. So I'm higher on Drummond than Cornett.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor, doesn't sound like there's a whole lot going on here at center. What are your favorites?
Yeah, he kind of ran them all down. I think you can play Towns, just flipping the bill completely, since most people are going to pay all the way down or into the mid-range at center. So I don't mind Towns, even on FanDuel. Şengün's probably the guy if you are paying all the way up, just a bit cheaper, better matchup against New Orleans. They don't protect the rim at all. Maybe in a large field you can shoot with like Yves Missi or Kelly Olynyk, but not safe plays. Cornet's perfectly fine if you land on it.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't seem like anything you're too excited about. We got to kick the DraftKings. Before we do that, I want to hit you with this sweet deal. For a limited time, your first month of Combo Pro is $79.99. That's just $15 more than PGA Premium. It's only $5 more than NBA Premium. You got baseball coming in like 3 weeks. It's good value to get all the sports at once. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. First month of Combo Pro, $79.99. Let's go to DraftKings. Taylor, you get to lead us off in that department. I suppose we'll just do guard. We'll combine them and just go guard here. So what are you doing at both point and shooting guard on DraftKings?
Yeah, so you're definitely taking up a spot with McConnell at 3.9 on DK, just way too cheap for the role. Probably off the bench, but that's perfectly fine. Nembhard, still a great play. Assuming he's going to start at the point in place of Halliburton. Just slide over to the 1. Pritchard, of course, 5.5, just super cheap. Shooting guard eligible, very easy play. Derek White, phenomenal, both guard spot eligible. Ditto for Quentin Grimes. And then Luka at the top. Otherwise, it's kind of just tournament dart throws with like Trae Young or, Dyson Daniels, Pajemski, guys like that.
Okay. Just kind of looking at things here. Are you playing McConnell and Nembhard together?
Yeah, they're so cheap. I think it's totally fine to do that.
Cash or
So-
GPP?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
both are fine in my opinion
Yeah.
too.
Okay. Kirkdiese, your thoughts at guard combine there on DraftKings?
Okay. Let me put this.
I know that
Okay.
always stressed you out when I do that too. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Pritchard and McConnell, obviously, again, we're going to just keep saying them. And we got to do it. This is the ultimate day for the Tiny Hands play of the day. Maybe the Tiny Hands play of the year. This is the guy with the worst ratio, the smallest hands ever ratio ever measured at the combine for NBA. So this guy has the smallest hands compared to his height. This is a fact.
Who are you
That's
making
why-
this up?
No, TJ McConnell is the Tiny Hands play of the day.
Nice.
Must be done.
Is that a real thing, or did you make up that whole intro, or did you really?
No, this is 100% a fact. You can
I didn't
Google it.
know. Or TJ.
Yep.
Okay. Tiny Hands play of the day. Lock it in.
I know Butthole did say though sometimes Tiny Hands actually, they're
Yes.
useful in some circumstances. So can make you feel more manly. He put it. So
I already read it. I didn't need to hear you say it. Actually, what else are we doing there? Look, you mentioned Pritchard. You mentioned the Tiny Hands play of the day.
Yeah, so
Nemhard. What else you got?
Luka, Quentin Grimes, Aaron Naismith again, Derek White, Ben Shepherd is a value play on Indiana that's going to be very low owned, who could hit a bunch of threes in this game. And he's 3,400. Dyson Daniels, Trae Young, Amon Thompson. These are all the guys.
Okay. The comments, not okay. Let's go to forward. Kirkwood, what are we doing? You get to combine them again, small forward and power forward together.
All right. Like I said, Tatum, big hands, big manly hands. Gotta love that in this game. Pascal Siakam, I love him. Franz Wagner or Banchero, both solid plays. The Dancing Bear revenge against his old team, Boston, 5,100. Gonna need to play a bunch of minutes, so like that. Obi Toppin, I like. Same names. Kelly Oubre could do some scoring against Boston, I think. So it's not the best matchup at all, but for GPPs, I don't mind that at all. And then, like I said, same thing applies with Levert over here on DraftKings that I said for FanDuel. I think this is a really good game environment for him.
We need to do more about spreading the nickname, the Dancing Bear. I said that on a show recently, and no one knew what I was talking about, Kirkwood.
It's terrible. It's sickening, actually.
Well, you're doing your job. We just got to keep it up. By the way, that's Yabusele, in case you had no idea who he was talking about. Taylor, your thoughts at forward, both small and power forward.
Yeah, so both Magic guys going to be awesome. Siakam, Tatum, and then Tari Easton I like on the cheap. Risa Shea talked about on FanDuel a little bit. I like that Oubre call, just given the minutes. Zion, again, like massive usage, tough matchup, but minutes have been a little bit more elevated lately, so I don't mind that. Neesmith is okay. Dylan Brooks, fine as a dusting, but like not a core play, obviously. And LeBron at the high end. I think Luka might be more popular, so if you want a little bit of Luka leverage, LeBron should be pretty good.
Sure, nothing wrong with that. We want to kick it to center. Got a couple questions coming in on FanDuel, but we're still closing out DK here. So Taylor, is center on DraftKings any better, any more reasonable, or you're still kind of just putting somebody crappy?
Yeah, it's not good. So like Cornette, Miles Turner might be the chalky duo. I don't mind that. Okongwu, it's a really good spot for him. Against the Pacers, not a good paint protecting team. Ditto for Wendell Carter. Just don't really like the ceiling with him, but good spot. Nick Claxton's cheap on DK, 5.5. I think that's fine. And then tournament plays would be Şengün, Zach Collins, just playing a pretty big role for Chicago, and Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay. Kirkwood, your favorites at the center spot on DraftKings.
Yep. All right. Sorry. Love Miles Turner, like I said. Love Şengün. Same thing. Cornette. I worry about a ceiling, but 4,400's even better here on DraftKings, so he should be just fine. Okongwu, he should be good too. Guy's been balling. Dancing Bear again, Obi Toppin, if you want to get a little bit further down for value in that game. And I like Drummond, so under Drummond. Do we have the Phillies starting lineup yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen it come through.
Okay.
All right, guys, we've got about 7 minutes until lock. I sped us up maybe unnecessarily, and hopefully we have enough questions to take us to lock. So if you have any questions, whether they be about hand size, nicknames, dinner, or preferably NBA, please go ahead and get them in the chat. In the meantime, as always, starting in the RotoGrinders Discord is where the cool kids hang out. Taylor, FanDuel cash question from a side. Tatum Neesmith or Grimes Paolo?
Probably Grimes Paolo.
Okay, DK large field GPP. Taylor, right back to you. Daniels or Okongwu?
I think Okongwu looks a little bit better.
All right. Kirkwood, coming to you. A question from Allen's Club. More raw points today. Tatum or Pritchard? Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
You have to go Tatum. Yeah.
You got it. What are we crazy? Are we being crazy? You got to.
Nice day off too. He had,
Yeah. Did he just do one of his famous not play? Or
he didn't play a lot last night when Pritchard went off. So no,
I didn't realize that. Okay. Your favorite center on FanDuel, cash and GPP, por favor. Thank you, Kirkwood.
Favorite center on FanDuel is Miles Turner.
Okay. Let's see. Taylor, back to you from Garfield Lawson. Turner Siakam, or that's probably Oubre and Drummond in a GPP.
Give me Turner Siakam.
Okay. Our guy Butthole says, "Hey Kevin Roth, you like Brett Favre?" I don't know. He's had some issues, you know.
Oh, he's talking about the pictures that he was sending, probably.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I forgot about those. With Jen Sturger, shout out FSU's Jen Sturger, who got caught in the crossfire of those photos. It's me, Breezy, says Taylor. DK Cash, Tatum Butler or Nemhard Wagner?
I think Nemhard Wagner, just because I'm not sure if Butler is going to be super viable if he doesn't start.
Okay. Derek says, has anyone tried cotton candy grapes? They legit taste like cotton candy. Kirk, have you tried these?
Yeah, I've tried them.
Yeah, they're like almost too sweet.
They're sweet, but they don't taste like cotton candy to me.
Yeah,
but they are sweet.
Straight sugar. Yeah, they're too much for me. DK Cash. Let's get back to hoops. Matt says Levert or the Dancing Bear Yabusele.
For Cash, I think Yabusele is probably the play for Cash, but I personally like Levert better. I think so. Do what you want with that info.
Okay. Taylor, Jarris Walker should smash at 3K. There's just a comment from Hoosiers Hang Banners. You may agree with the comment, you may disagree, or you may just meh.
Yeah, I'll probably meh, but could happen.
Yeah, okay. Let's spend up. DK GPP, Luka or Tatum, asks Steven. Taylor?
Tatum is probably a bit safer and a better value, but I never have an issue with Luka, obviously.
Okay. You never know what we've got here in the chat. Who's hanging out with us? Power says, I almost became a scripper in college, and the Dancing Bear would have been the nuts. It would be a good nickname. I may need more
fact. Little known fact. That was actually Chop's name at the club that he used to work at. They used to
frequent. Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Shaw City says DKGPP, Kirkwood, Grimes, Drummond, or Boncaro Turner.
I feel like we just got the.
He says, wait, my bad. Boncaro Drummond or Grimes Turner.
Because I like Boncaro Drummond.
ASAP Charger says, any must plays in a Yahoo GPP? I don't know if we've done this research. If you're building over there, you were at one time the king of Yahoo. I don't know.
I still am.
You still
yeah. So for GPPs, played Boncaro. I mean, everyone's going to play him, but play him. I think Grimes is underpriced. Trey Jones is a nice value now that he's starting. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Someone said Ricardo says Taylor looks sad. So let's get Taylor some questions. Put a smile on that face. DK Cash, Taylor 3v3. That's going to make him frown. Tatum, Shepard, Turner, or Grimes, Franz, Nemhard?
Second one, I think. The Nemhard one. I like that one.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor, back to you. DK Large Field. Can we pass up the Wendell Carter Jr. revenge game, especially with Isaac out?
Yeah, I think you can, just because he doesn't really offer a huge ceiling, but good spot overall.
Yeah. Snowfighter says, Kirk, is fading Pritchard to be different okay in a GPP?
Yeah, he played over 40 minutes last night. He probably celebrated after the game, for all we know. It's a back-to-back. Yeah, you can definitely fade this.
Yeah. LMI says, sorry, did you guys answer Carter or Drummond? I might have missed that question, so that's on me. Carter or Drummond, Kirk?
Both good, but give me Drummond.
Okay. Your favorite Philly value? It's a question from Robbie in the YouTube, Taylor. Favorite Philly value?
Probably Butler if he starts. Grimes and Uber aren't really values, but they're the best overall plays there.
Okay. Back to you, Taylor. DK Cash, Tatum, Shepard, Turner. Did I just do this one? I did.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah. And it was the Nemhard side of it.
Yeah.
Grimes, Franz, Nemhard was the favorite. DKGPP, here we go from T. Carter. Risache, Grimes, or Oubre?
Grimes.
Yeah, okay. Bean says Jones or THT, Kirk?
Jones.
Let's see. Javier says showdown, Knicks versus LA. If all the Knicks with a Q tag are out, would you prefer Shamet or Payne?
Payne, probably.
Yeah. Thoughts on Bronson? I assume that's Brunson.
Not great. I think he's okay, but there's better value at guard.
Yeah. We're moments until lock. Ricardo asks, when are we getting tipsy, Roth? Sundays and Mondays. It's Sunday and Monday. So those are the days. Let's see. Did we get all the questions here? Make sure you hit us that thumbs up if you are watching on the YouTube. Chestnuts or walnuts? This is from Wendy's Balls. Chestnuts or walnuts? Taylor, chestnuts or walnuts?
I think I will side with chestnuts. Not going to really know the difference, though, honestly, so I'm kind of guessing on that.
Okay. Kirk?
I like a crack a nice walnut, you know?
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
The feeling, it's like you got someone by the fucking balls. You know,
massive hands. You get those massive hands out. You just there you go. Bam. Guess what? We did the things. We hit the locks. I think it's time to bounce on out of here. So for Kirk, for Taylor, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. We will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.